Oh boy, Ted Cruz is back. So he's on the Sunday talk shows, and he's talking about how Obamacare is so bad that President Obama should spend the State of the Union apologizing for it. Brilliant idea. Go ahead, Ted.
Obamacare is a disaster, and you know, for the State of the Union, one of the things President Obama really ought to do is look in the TV camera and say to the over 5 million Americans all across this country who've had their health insurance canceled because of Obamacare, to look in the camera and say, I'm sorry. I told you if you like your health insurance plan, you can keep it. I told you if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor, and that wasn't true. I'm sorry. But then, Bob, here's the real kicker. If you're really sorry, you don't just say you're sorry, you actually do something to fix the problem. The pattern we've seen over and over again with this president is he says he's sorry, he expresses outrage, but then he doesn't fix the problem. He keeps doing it over and over.
Another brilliant idea by Ted Cruz. Yes, you're right. The president should go and spend the State of the Union apologizing over and over for his actions, and then say at the State of the Union, I now withdraw Obamacare. Yeah, that's very likely. Thanks, Ted. Thanks for the helpful hint. Now, judging from that, you would think that the president hasn't apologized for the glitches to the computers, et cetera, and the rollout in Obamacare, except he totally has. It's on tape.
I am sorry that they are finding themselves in this situation based on assurances they got from me. We've got to work hard to make sure that they know we hear them and that we're going to do everything we can to deal with folks who find themselves in a tough position as a consequence of this.
That's right. Obama needs to apologize. Kind of like he just did there. Okay, all right. But here's what I know about Fox News, conservatives, etc. They love it when the president apologizes. Right?
Now, the president has been making waves with his apology tour overseas.
Last time, a lot of people said, Steve, that he was on an apology tour of sorts.
He's coming off a tour where he's constantly apologizing for America.
Well, he was apologizing for perceived arrogance, of U.S. arrogance in Europe. And the thing is, we are a superpower.
At other stops where he was on an apology tour.
This from the president who has made an apology an art form.
Obama is apologizing to the Frenchy French for our arrogance.
But we got to quit apologizing to every B-lister in a leopard skin fez.
That's not the attitude that the leader of the free world is supposed to take.
Now, back in 2009, after he barely had his feet wet as commander-in-chief, he did, in fact, go on an apology tour all around the world.
The problem is when we start kowtowing to them and apologizing for being Americans.
I think it was a disgrace as he goes on his apologizing for America tour and bowing before the king. But
we are a superpower, and this president did not go on this trip acting as though we were a superpower. He's been apologetic.
When a president goes abroad and apologizes for America and doesn't tell the great story of America.
They're the ones who whip themselves on the back, not us.
Prancing from one world capital to another, pointing out America's flaws.
He should not be apologetic. He should not be running down his own country.
He's apologizing for America when he ought to be, as the president, telling America's great story that we are the champions of liberty and freedom.
He should not be apologetic. He should not be kowtowing and prancing around, kowtowing to his opponents and apologizing at every turn. Except, of course, when he's apologizing to us, right? My favorite quote out of that was Dennis Miller, should have quit apologizing to every B-lister. Well, we totally agree to that, Dennis.